Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Aries energy. And like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Aries energy. What we could think of doing, and that some people are doing, when we have hope and faith and belief in our dreams, to kind of take some lessons we've learned or something, some insight and understanding we've come into, to I'm gonna look and see what that is. Okay. To look at life differently and face our fears to move forward in life. And this card was staying at the very bottom, so I don't know if it was at the very bottom of the deck, but the death card can mean that something people didn't realize you'd be willing to transform your life, because the death card in high vibe and Scorpio energy is that you are willing to emotionally detach from the past to transform your life. And there's some people that you might know and in your life that don't want the relationship to be over. So, and if you're both on the same page, then I guess that's what you'll do. Okay, the bottom row is going to be the more worldly, shadowy nature. We can all have some fears and insecurities about moving forward in life differently, because we maybe have to change our habits, our vices, the way we view life, step outside of our comfort zone. So there's going to be some people who are struggling within themselves right now, but there's also going to be other people in the world who are moving forward in life differently. And there's going to be some people in the world and in their life that aren't moving forward in life differently, because we all learn lessons at different times. We all heal at different times, you know? And then there's some people that have no interest in living their life ever any differently than they live their life. And a more worldly, shadowy Aries energy could be people who are just more motivated and inspired by the world, the things of the world, indulging themselves in things of the world, making their life more about money and materialism, or maybe just more about themselves and people indulging them, or they're willing to indulge others. So, we all tap into Aries energy. If you harness high vibe Aries energy, you'd probably want to hang out with some people who harness high vibe Aries energy. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story. Listen to your intuition about where other people are at in the story. And we'll go from there. Also, I do have another channel. It's called I Alone Fly Tarot. And on that one, we do a different type of spread. But on this channel, I pretty much use this spread all the time. Okay, the reason for the top row's reading is the Magician card, and the Three of Pentacles, and the Chariot card. Well, we'll go with the King of Cups 2 and the Six of Cups. Oh, there we're getting to it. High vibe people believe they have the resources, which we all do have the resources at any given time, to begin to manifest our dreams into reality. We have our creativity, we have our imagination, we have time. You know, first it starts just in the imaginative realm of what do I want to manifest? And then we start to put in work and effort, and we get in the driver's seat of our life, and we start to take action, because the masculine figures in tarot can talk about the action that we take in the world. And we start to take action based on what we want to manifest. And high vibe people are manifesting from love, and they want to be in deep, meaningful relationships. They've learned a lot of life lessons in life, and they're protecting what they want to manifest. And they want to manifest and having good boundaries within themselves, so they don't give in to their more worldly, shadowy energy and take action more out of fear, insecurity, or pride, or ego, or codependency, because they want to be living the life of their dreams and being in friendships and relationships with other people who love and believe in themselves, who have freed themselves from the things that used to manipulate them, and they've gotten in the driver's seat of their life, and they're taking action in truth and love, and offering love to other people, treating other people the way they like to be treated too, because they have learned these lessons in life, that if I want to be in these loving relationships, I have to align with being that type of person myself also. And they also want to be in these types of relationships with people and willing to stand up and defend those relationships because that's what motivates and drives them. But you could have dealt with some people because the magician and then all these other cards, we have people in the world who can look just like us, kind of act like us, but what is the truth of the action they take in the world? And they could harness this energy in a completely opposite way. They try to create the illusion that they're that type of person, but it could be more because they want to get in a new relationship. They want to look like they've moved on. They want to look like they're the winner. They want to look like they're this emotionally balanced, loving person by getting themselves in a relationship with someone who's like that. But really, they're repeating a pattern of the past because they're defensive to loving themselves and believing in their dreams. But they want to look like they're that type of person. They want to look like that's the truth of who they are. But it's all just an illusion. And you might have previously worked for, been in friendships, been in a romantic relationship with some people who are like that. And you learn to stand up for yourself. That's like you're kind of creating an illusion, but you have some of these poor past patterns that you repeat, or you're just more emotionally shallow and superficial because of maybe your defensiveness to love. And I really want to be in a relationship with someone who's bold and brave enough to do love. So, what's going on in the top row? We have the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. And they all came out because of the Magician card. And we do get in, life's all about learning lessons, and we have all these lessons to learn, and we can be drawn and attracted to certain people because we have valuable life lessons to learn from them. We could be a really loving person that has hope and faith and belief in love, and we have to realize that there's some people in the world who present themselves as being that type of person, but they're not. And we need to realize that. We need to learn who's being authentic and genuine, because people can play the role and put on the act, but they're trying to manipulate us, trying to confuse us about the truth. So some high vibe people were in some situations, we think we meet someone like, oh my gosh, here's somebody. And the Queen of Pentacles, I do view it as Taurus energy, who we could view as being, and the queens can talk about how people, or at least how we view them, of what type of person they are. And in high vibe, we think that they're this emotionally nurturing, stable, grounded, emotionally mature person who walks the talk. And we think, oh gosh, this is like a dream come true. But some of the people we get in a relationship with, they're like, yep, stop right there. This is good. Yep, let's get in a relationship. Yep, you should come work here. But they might not want to move forward in life. It's like, because Taurus can be, anybody can be, but shadowy Taurus is kind of fixed sign energy, unwilling to budge, unwilling to change. They could have inner conflict about investing in the truth that it is supposed to be about love and loving and believing in ourselves and believing in our dreams, that, we are willing to change, because that's what life-giving energy is, that we change over time. Just like human beings, we lived in the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s. We go through those phases of life, just like we did age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. We go through these phases of life because that's where we're at that stage of life. That's what we know. It's how we view life. It's our age level. It's our maturity level, whatever. And then we learn lessons from that phase of life, and we look at what kind of we did like, what we kind of didn't like, and we take the good things that we did like to go to like the next phase of life. And that's how humanity keeps growing and changing over time. That's how we as human beings keep growing and maturing ourselves. But some people, that isn't what they wanted to manifest. Some people I just want a job. What about when you get in the job? I don't really know or care. I just want a job. Some people, the King and Queen of Pentacles is the only married suit of the deck. Some people just want to get in a relationship. Some people just want to get married. Well, what's your future plans after that? Nothing. I'm in a relationship. I got married. Isn't that what people are trying to manifest? For some people, that's what they're trying to manifest. and for some of those people, that when I get in it, I might have inner conflict about the truth. I might have inner conflict about love. I might be defensive to love. So let's just stay and do it the way we've been doing it. Well, again, life-giving energy is about growing and maturing yourself emotionally, becoming more independent of what manipulates you. We've all got some fears and some insecurities and some self-limiting beliefs, but would we have stayed age 15 or age 18 or age 21 or age 25 all our life? Like mentally and emotionally? Because we had those fears and insecurities? Doesn't there come a time where it's like, if we keep repeating an old pattern of the past, we're learning nothing. We're not growing. We're not expanding. We're not like growing to our full potential. And sometimes we get in these mismatched relationships where they want us to keep staying in a relationship with them or stay in that friendship or stay in that job, but nothing's ever going to change. Whatever fears or insecurities or baggage that people had or ways of viewing life, that's the way it's going to be like forever. It's like, well, don't you have some fears and insecurities and some self-limiting beliefs? Like, yeah, but I just decided I'm going to make my life more about my ego. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to deal with it. I just figure if I keep putting work and effort at this job or, living my life like this, that it'll all be okay. Well, if they get in relationships with people who are motivated to grow and heal and mature themselves and face their fears and kind of become all they can be, it can cause fighting in a relationship because we have different things we want to manifest. And the Magician is Gemini Virgo energy. Some people are more aligned and in Taurus energy, which is their philosophy of life. Some people are like, I'm just about the world and money and ego and image or being in a relationship. I'm good. It's like, so once we have that, the relationship doesn't even grow and mature itself anymore. It doesn't become a more deep, meaningful relationship. Well, no, I have conflict about that. Let's just do this. This is good. It works. I might have inner conflict too, but, we got the status and the image. It seems like we manifested all these things that other people have. Why can't we just stay right here? And that's when we kind of realize that you might find that emotionally fulfilling and that might be your dream life and what you wanted to manifest. But I did want to dump some of my baggage and the things that manipulate me. And I don't want to carry around all my fears or insecurities or self-limiting beliefs. I am motivated to learn to love myself and emotionally grow and mature myself. And I want to deal with my inner conflict. I want to get to the truth about my inner conflict. I want to offer myself love, to believe in myself, because high vibe energy is about being free from your shadow nature, free from your more fearful, insecure, prideful, defensive, immature, more indulgent, materialistic nature, to realize, I want to feel balanced within myself instead of tipped out of balance in the world or my more worldly or shadowy nature. I do want these things of the world, but I also want to be in loving, nurturing, supportive, encouraging relationships where people are more free of their more worldly nature to have hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And sometimes we get in those mismatched relationships, and some people already went through that, spoke their truth, and moved on. And those people are manifesting a new beginning. And I think high vibe people then communicate with people in their world that I'm moving forward in this new way, who's on the same page as me. Do you want to move forward with me? Do you want to invest in the truth and in love? Or are you still kind of more manipulated by your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego, or more about the world and the things of the world and indulging in things of the world than trying to have a balance of having the things we all generally put in work to have stability and security and enjoy the finer things in life? But do you also want to be in a loving, nurturing, supportive relationship? Do you want more than just settling for the things of the world, or just being in a relationship, or just being married? Do you want to become all you can be, basically? And that for some people, it's causing them some conflict in a relationship right now. And the Seven of Pentacles can be people wondering if they still want to invest in it or not. Because one person could be defensive to love and the other person wants to move forward in love. And we can all keep putting a lot of work and effort to make something work because we'd like it when we get in a job, have a certain friend, in a romantic relationship. We'd like those things to work. We wanted those people to be in our life long term. We have love for those people. But some people just emotionally don't want to deal with their own inner conflict. And then there could be some truths that they would need to, maybe they just have to speak their truth. And that's what stops people. Now, there are things that bother me, maybe about this job or this friendship or this relationship, but I would have to stand up for myself. I'd have to speak my truth. Or maybe I'd have to incorporate love into being the foundation that I operate from, instead of, maybe living more from my mind than my heart, or doing what's practical or logical. And I don't want to speak my truth. So some people will keep living their life the way they've been living it because they don't want to speak their truth. They don't want to, don't maybe love and believe in themselves yet. They've kind of been manipulated by their more worldly, egoic nature, and they might not want to see the truth of that. They could be loving people, but that is still something that's kind of maybe more of a driving factor. Because eventually, in situations, we get down to the bare bones. Is it more about love and hope and faith and belief in your dreams and loving yourself that drives you? Or at a core fundamental level, is it more about ego or image or codependency? Or, basically, have you learned to love yourself? Are you in relationships with people who are loving? Does it look good, so you're going to stay in it? Are you going to keep trying to get those people to believe in love? And eventually some people get to where it's like, I shouldn't be in relationships with people who seem to maybe be more about indulging themselves, maybe a little bit more about what they want to manifest versus, that we both have things we want to manifest. And why does it seem it's more about what you want to manifest than, also what I want to manifest? And, if you're going to work together with other people, we all have dreams and things we want to accomplish in life, but sometimes, life's about learning lessons about how to play nicely with others. And some people have learned some more of those lessons than some other people. And, are we on the same page or are we not? High vibe people, some of them have already spoken their truth. They're communicating to other people, I'm moving forward in this way. Who wants to come? And if those people don't want to come and they have inner conflict about investing in aligning with their foundation, more operating from hope and faith and love than themselves or the world or their defensive nature, high vibe people aren't going to let other people who aren't investing in them from the Queen of Pentacles holding one pentacle to the Seven of Pentacles. This Five of Wands is about the Six of Pentacles, which is also Taurus energy. Do we look at relationships as kind of more transactional, or, this one works, we get along good enough, but is it really about equal give and take? Are we really on the same page? Are people acting with character and integrity? Or does someone try to kind of manipulate someone to cause them inner conflict, to stop them from doing this work within themselves to heal and get in the driver's seat of their life and feel more balanced and resolve themselves with some past issues? Are they trying to stop them from doing that? And they kind of use these kind of manipulative tactics to get people to focus more on them. Because some people like the attention. Shadowy Aries is about the self, and some people are a little bit more about themself, or this is the way I want to do it, and if you don't do it the way I want you to do it, maybe I am going to go invest in someone else. Maybe I am going to go indulge some other people in the world. Maybe I will try to manipulate you. Maybe I'll spend more time with friends or family or something. At what point are we going to see through the illusion that maybe some people really aren't who we thought they were, or we're just really not on the same page? But loving people speak the truth. They treat you in a just and fair manner. When people are in shadowy energy, they don't want to speak the truth. They don't want to be more just and fair. They don't want to offer love to the situation to help move the situation forward, because that's not how they want to move forward. And so then we see the truth that you seem to have inner conflict about investing in the truth and love. And I feel like you're trying to manipulate me. And that's not loving. Do you want me to heal? Do you want me to feel emotionally balanced within myself? Or do you like me feeling wounded so that I keep indulging in doing the relationship the way you want? I want you to become all you can be. Do you want me to become all I can be? I want you to heal. Are you even willing to deal with your inner conflict? Are you willing to invest some time, energy, and effort to get more balanced within yourself and speak your truth? Are you willing to get more balanced so you're more willing to offer love to it than, some people, if they have some of these things of the world that they think people want, sometimes they try to use those things to try to tempt people. And then there's people, high vibe people can sometimes have very shadowy people in their life. That's why I'm bringing it up. Some people think they should be indulged. It's just to try to manipulate people into moving forward with them in a relationship, viewing them and believing this illusion that they're this emotionally loving family person when they're not. It's just this is a pattern of theirs. This is what I do. But I'm defensive to really love and really bringing the dream into reality. But I'm hoping if I get you in the job, or get you in the friendship, or get in a relationship with you, or marry you, that once I get you in it, and at some future point in time, when you're starting to see through the illusion and see the truth, and you really want the dream to come into reality, and then you start to see that I have conflict about that, because really this relationship works for me. It's good for my ego and my image and my status. It's nice to be in a relationship with someone like you who really is loving and nurturing and supportive and emotionally mature, but I'm kind of more about, at the core, it's more about the ego and the image, or just being in a relationship, or me trying to take from you. I like being in a relationship with you, and I like how you make me feel and what you give to me, but I don't really give you that in return. But I might have something that you like about me. You could, what resource do I have to use to get you to keep staying in a relationship with you? Do the fact that I have money, I have status, I have power, I have social clout, I have sex with you. What is it? But it's maybe not love. I might have sex with you. You might be attracted to me. I might have money and status and image of power. I might present myself a certain way to you in the world and you like that. But I'm just defensive to love. Are you willing to stay in a relationship with me anyway? And that's when we realize that our dream isn't ever going to come into reality. You're not someone motivated and inspired by love. This relationship isn't going to grow and mature over time. We're not going to have a deep, meaningful relationship because you might like to keep your emotions a little more buried under the surface. And you're okay in your philosophy of how you harness your Taurus energy is to maybe be a little more emotionally shallow and superficial and kind of have some lessons to learn about love. You could like to engage in the relationship because the Nine of Wands can be Sagittarius in shadow, can be someone who is kind of like a little bit, has some lessons to learn and like to indulge himself in relationships, kind of a little bit of a player energy. But I don't really want to do love. But, if I do all these things and I act all these ways and it seems like it's all good, isn't that good enough? And that's when we see the truth that it's not. And some people right now could be getting out of a relationship because they've seen through the illusion. And they're doing this work within themselves to reconcile themselves with this relationship and come to peace about it, to stand up for themselves and what they believe in, and communicating and, spending their time, energy, and effort to get to know other people in the world, to try to find the people in the world who are on the same page as them. And anybody they meet or anybody who might approach them, as some of you are moving forward, some people are like, no, I'm not living life that way. Other people might be dealing with their inner conflict because they'd like to move forward in life that way. Other people could have people that you meet that might be someone who wants to be a person to be in a relationship with you, but your intuition could tell you those people are defensive to love. I've already been in relationships with people like that. And then the Knight of Cups is like, I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And other people you could meet and other people you could communicate with are people who are speaking the truth, who are motivated and inspired. They've worked through their inner conflict of thinking, isn't a relationship about me being indulged? Or isn't a relationship more about the money or the ego or the status or whatever? And there's other people who've realized that we all put in work and effort to have some of those things of the world. Isn't it equally as important to be in an emotionally balanced, loving relationship where you can let your more authentic nature out to play, where you don't have to feel like defensive and guarded because the other people are competitive and everybody is like someone they need to defeat? I'm better than you at this. You did that wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Because they have their own inner conflict and are kind of not aligned with their loving nature and have some more lessons learned, that everybody is the competition because they kind of operate more from their ego. And instead of doing the work within themselves, when they do see people doing things that they could like and admire, they do that work within themselves, like, wow, I want to live my life like that. And some people are like, well, I view myself like this type of person, and now you're doing this, that. I don't like that because you're really walking the talk. And I kind of realize that I don't really walk the talk. Well, so now you're someone I'm in my ego about. And I don't know if I want to invest in you anymore. And that's what some people do too. You've healed, you've grown, you've matured. Yeah, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. You can go. Because high vibe energy can illuminate to people that they might like to view themselves as a certain type of person, but are they really? And then they don't like that. But instead of doing the work within themselves, like, wow, it kind of illuminated that I'm not really who I kind of think of myself as, you know? But I do want to be that type of person authentically, and then if they do that work within themselves, then they move forward with you in that way. But there's some people who get in their pride and ego about it. Well, that would mean I'd have to invest in the truth and I'd have to see the truth. And I might like to stay in denial of the truth and just live life the way I've been living it and live in my illusion that I'm that type of person too, who does really walk the talk. But I don't. But if I get rid of the people who do walk the talk, and I'm just saying, the people in my world like myself who like to think that we walk the talk, then we're all happy. You can go. And we got to see the truth that some people are like that. And we got to see the truth that some people are more about ego and image. And if you're the next person, if they were in a relationship with someone who wanted them to deal with their issues, it's like, screw you, I'll go get in a relationship with this person. I'll look like I'm moving forward in a new relationship and that I'm this loving, emotionally stable person. And until they find out the truth, I'll just try to repeat this pattern with them. And that can be the way life goes. But some people have really learned some lessons in life and they've become independent of being manipulated by their more worldly egoic nature. And they've really learned to listen to their intuition and maintain balance within themselves and to speak their truth and stand up for what they believe in and offer love and peace and treat people the way they like to be treated. But not just anyone is going to move forward with me anymore. Because I have learned these lessons and I have been wounded by people who weren't who they said they were. And if anybody comes thinking they want to invest in me, I will speak my truth. This is what I'm doing. And some of those people are like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you go. Guess I didn't realize you'd seen the truth about people like me. It's like, yeah, I have. It's like, okay, well then I might have to stay with the people I've been with. It's like, yeah, you might. If that's what you choose to do. But I'm moving forward in truth and love. And some people you could know in your life are doing that right now. They try to present themselves as someone who harnesses high vibe Aries energy, like they can just create this illusion and manipulate people about the truth. But you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And the next person they get in a relationship, it will eventually get to a point where they'll realize that this person isn't who they say they are. And you're going like, I tried to tell you. That person's kind of stubborn and competitive and more invested in ego and image and truth and love. But, that's their life. You're going to keep moving on. Okay, what's going on in the bottom row? The reason for the bottom row's reading is the Two of Pentacles, which can be people who juggle, And I also could juggle loving people because I haven't picked a path. We live in a world of duality, and some people are still not picking a path. Well, I want to be in relationships with people, but I still kind of want it more about me. Or I want to be in relationships with loving people, but I'm really still more about ego and image or money or materialism. Or I want to be in relationships, but I'm still defensive. And they haven't picked a path. And they haven't done the work to quit indulging how they juggle. And they'll keep juggling so long as I guess they think it works for them. But while they do that, they're going to have other people who are walking away from them. The Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups, which can be people who just try to emotionally confuse people about the truth of who they are. They create the 5, the 6, and the 7 of Cups is Scorpio energy. And regardless of what zodiac sun sign people are, you're either harnessing high vibe Scorpio or you're willing to do the roller coaster of life. Like, I am this emotionally complex person. I do have all these different feelings and I want to explore them all. And some people are like, well, I like to be in relationships with people who are more open to that because they're very loving and open and authentic and warm and giving and nurturing. But I'd have some issues I have to deal with for me to really be that kind of person. So I'll present myself as someone who's willing to do deep, meaningful relationships, but I still haven't decided. And then they get in relationships with people, and the other people are like, "Are you coming? I thought we were going to manifest this dream." And they're like, uh, uh. And that's kind of when the rubber meets the road, and people are like, not making a decision is making a decision. And so I'm going to become independent of you. The Eight of Cups is headed to the Nine of Cups. Pisces energy. I'm going to love myself and invest in loving myself and what I want to manifest. And I'm going to deal with my own inner conflict about the fact that I had wanted to invest in you to have that dream come into reality. But if we're not operating from the same foundation and you haven't learned some life lessons that I've learned to value love like I value love, well, then we're not on the same page. And then from the 1 to the 7, again, in the Six of Pentacles, I have inner conflict because in the Six of Pentacles, I did want to exchange time, energy, effort, and hugs and kisses with you and be in a relationship with you. But now I'm taking back that Six of Pentacles. I'm not going to exchange time, energy, and effort with you anymore and be in a relationship with you anymore. Because I'm standing up for what I believe in my truth. And my truth is I'm going to move forward manifesting my dreams into reality. And you can go juggle someone else. So the Two of Cups is Cancer energy. They juggle love. It's like, well, some other people don't juggle love, and some people don't like to be juggled. So let's go see what's going on in the bottom row. And we could go for a long time in the relationship and even after the relationship. We can kind of be going back and forth because it does take a long time to reconcile ourselves with the past. In our Scorpio energy, we do have all these different feelings and complex feelings. I hate them. I love them. I don't ever want to talk to them. I hope they call me today. It takes time to also, from the 1 cup to the 5 to the 6 of Cups, to get out of the 5 of Cups. Being sad that relationship didn't work out, but those people weren't willing to move forward in the 2 of Cups of love. And both people need to be inspired by love if we're going to bring that dream into reality. And they have to align with their more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And if they're kind of more aligned with loving and aligning with their more worldly nature, or materialistic nature, or self nature, or defensive nature, or whatever, and they can't decide for sure what they want to do, then, other people are going to leave. And it takes time of maintaining balance within ourselves. The 2 of Pentacles could be where we were in that relationship with them, but eventually we did this work within ourselves to get balance within ourselves, to get to a place where we were willing to pick up our investment in it, to get balance within ourselves from a place of love, because love is what helps us heal and grow and mature ourselves. And then we were done juggling and we saw the truth. I'm going to offer myself that cup of love to quit going back and forth. And I'm going to invest in myself and give myself the things I wish they would have given me. And I'm going to do this work within myself. And over time, I will come to a place of peace about it. And from the 5 of Wands to the 9 of Wands, I've taken back the 4 of Wands. I no longer view that person as someone, and the Four of Wands is Aries energy. I no longer see them as being the person I want to be in a relationship with, because I also don't view them as harnessing high vibe Aries energy. High vibe Aries energy are people bold and brave enough to do love and that are a good leader in their life, that they have chosen love versus their worldly egoic self nature as the primary foundation they operate from. And they make good decisions in their life not to indulge themselves in poor behavior, have good self discipline within themselves, and they make good decisions in relationships and workplaces and family dynamics because they're not operating from their more me nature. I love these people. I want to be in a relationship with these people. If my decision is going to impact these people, I'm going to make a decision taking them all into account. And some people aren't ready to do that. They can't decide if they love themselves more or if they're willing to work cooperatively with people in love to not make it more about their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their pride, their ego. So, what's going on in the bottom row? A card not showing itself, the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and another card not showing itself. You know, we all live our life at whatever stage of life we're at based on our life experience and our maturity level and emotionally mature level, whatever. And some people are convinced that, living their life the way they live it is going to make them happy. And if it is more about themselves or indulging themselves, because again, Ten of Wands in shadow is shadowy Sagittarius energy, which is like got a lot of life lessons to learn. It's the Knight of Wands. And up here we have the Queen of Pentacles. And up here we have the King of Cups. Here we have no major arcana. Up here we have the Magician is the reason for the reading, which is major arcana. It's like I'm working together with life force energy. When I listen to my intuition versus my loving nature, instead of my fearful, prideful, egotistical, defensive, immature, whatever nature, I'm working with life force energy. I'm working with universal energy. And then I'm working with the Chariot, another major arcana. I'm working with emotionally balanced, loving energy that will help move me forward victoriously, because pride comes before the fall. When we think, oh no, I haven't learned to love myself, or I don't want to do equal give and take, or I don't want to be just and fair. Basically, I'm kind of immature and I have some lessons to learn. They're going to learn some hard lessons just like some other people have in life. And you could have already learned those lessons and they haven't. And we just need to see the truth of that. So they're pretty sure that what they're doing will make them happy. Some people want to be in relationships with other people, but they could have other people in their life. If that's their original family, if that's their friend group, if it's their work, if it's the world at large, and they keep trying to juggle between the two, like, well, I want to be in a relationship with you, and even though you're the person I'm trying to build a life with, you're the person I might marry, you're the person I did marry, you're the person I created children with, I still kind of equally give these other things equal priority in my life. So these might be some people who are codependent, which is what shadowy energy can talk about. They're not willing to be more independent. There's codependent on the world to validate their worth and value. So I need to go out in the world to show the world, like they haven't learned to love themselves, to quit being in their ego about the world and just go live their authentic life. Because some people, that's how they validate their worth and value. Well, no, I got to go do all these things in the world so I can get my ego boost, because I haven't learned to emotionally love myself and deal with my inner conflict about my defensiveness to love. And so then I go look outside of myself for people to fill me up emotionally or validate my worth and value or whatever. But they could just be codependent on people and they're not willing to become more independent. Some of those people in their life might have inner conflict if they were to be more independent. Maybe they're people who kind of like to control and manipulate people. And part of that, would they'd have to see the truth of that. We're all adults. Why are we not respecting each other? Like, I let you live your life. I don't try to manipulate and control you. Sometimes there's just one person left in the group or in the family, and one person in the group or the family that thinks, well, I should be able to manipulate you. You should make me the priority in your life. You should look to me as the loving person in your life, not those people or that person. You shouldn't love and believe in yourself and become independent of me. And some people aren't willing to stand up for themselves, even if they're overwhelmed. Well, I guess so long as they're not willing to become independent of them. And some of you might have realized that too. It's like, gee, these people really got a hold on them. These people really, or person really manipulates them. Well, that person doesn't manipulate me. And if you're going to be in a relationship with me, you need to stand up for yourself and be more independent of them, because otherwise they're like a third party in this relationship. And they don't have that type of control over me. So, and for a long time, you might not have even known that that person was kind of like a third party. And, eventually you're like, you know what? Until you have become more independent, I wish you peace, but I'm leaving. And I'm willing, until you're willing to speak your truth and love and believe in yourself more and get in the driver's seat of your own life, so long as you let those people kind of manipulate and control you, I hope you have a happy life. But it won't be with me. And then they can get other people that they're getting relationships with, and it's like, oh, well, these people kind of manipulate and control me. Why? Because they're not very independent and they're codependent, or whatever those people kind of, the way they are, really is trying to show you that that's kind of a truth about this person that you weren't wanting to see. Maybe they are more about groupthink and conformity and the status quo, or the ego, or the image, or the indulgence, or the money, or the materialism. And it just helps you more clearly see something you weren't seeing within them. And that's when you realize you're not on the same page. So what about these two cards not showing themselves? The Temperance card and the High Priestess. Major Arcana. Their philosophy of life is, I work with the things of the world. I think that's what I need to work with to be happy, to manifest what I want. I do not balance out my strong emotions and be patient and listen to my intuition. I could take action more out of, I want to indulge myself. I have inner conflict. I take action out of fear or insecurity or pride or ego or defensiveness. Even though their intuition could be telling them, you need to calm down. You should not be acting in this way that isn't conducive to a relationship working out. You should offer love to the situation. They're like, no. They emotionally, in their philosophy of life, indulge their more immature nature, indulgent nature, living in fantasy land about what it means to be in a relationship with people. I think I can maybe manipulate people. I think if I do that, it'll cause them all this inner conflict. I'm sure they'll come back and do it the way I want. And for some of those people, they're overwhelmed right now because they tried to manipulate and control people, and people are leaving. But they were not willing, and kind of like, I want these things. I want to look like a shining star now. And if I stay in a relationship with you, I don't know if that'll happen. Oh, look, there's maybe someone else I go get in a relationship with. Maybe they feel like they only have 7 pentacles and they want to get in a relationship with someone who is, we have pages and knights and kings and queens, has much more status, image, power, social clout, attractive, whatever it is that they value in the world. This might have looked victorious in a lot of ways, and it could seem like a dream come true, but you want to do love. I think if I get in a relationship with that person, they might be more about the ego and the image and the money and the materialism. And I'm willing to kind of create an illusion that I love them and want to be in a relationship with them because I'm not willing to be patient. And I'm not willing to listen to my intuition. I want the things of the world that I want. And that's the thing. We go indulge in what we think will make us happy. And over time, we lack balance. We lack self-discipline. And sometimes, shadow energy, our worldly nature, kind of represented by the devil that we got these lessons to learn, sometimes those things can really get a hold on you. And we're confused. Why do I feel so overwhelmed that this thing I went to go indulge in that I thought would make me happy is making me sad? It's like, well, because those things weren't the answer. I think we came to play this game of life for us to learn the truth. We have free will to learn these lessons. When are you going to learn that love was the answer? And it starts within you, not being codependent on other people to fill you up, or look to those things outside of the world to be the answer in place of you loving yourself. Like, if I just drink enough of this, pop enough of that, eat enough of that, get in this type of relationship, have that kind of money, oh my gosh, I'll have it all. I think we read in the papers about people who have everything that people could imagine and they're sad or depressed because they haven't learned to be more emotionally nurturing and loving to themselves to deal with their own inner conflict and incorporate truth and love into how they treat themselves and how they make decisions in their life. Because the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but they're meant to be enjoyed from a place of love. That way you don't give those things that much power and influence and control over your life. They're not the end-all be-all. And for some people, shadowy Aries energy, they want to be the end-all be-all in people's lives. You have to look to me like I am the end-all be-all. That's the only way I'll be happy, because I juggle love, and I have regrets from my past that I don't want to deal with. So I might want to be in a relationship with someone who's overwhelmed, because I'm overwhelmed. And then together, we can move forward, going back and forth about loving ourselves and dealing with our regrets in the past. And sometimes we could have gotten in relationships with people because we were on that same page. It was just that some people hadn't given up hope and faith and belief in their dreams. And then when they started to do this work within themselves to work through their regrets of the past, and they did that inner work to invest in loving themselves and growing and maturing themselves and freeing themselves from the things that manipulated them, they offered those resources to the people they were in relationship with. And those people said, I'd have to invest in love, or I'd have to do this inner work to deal with my regrets of the past and offer love to myself to free myself from those things. Ten of Wands, a Sagittarius energy, is like, oh my God, that would take a lot of work. Screw it. And some people are like, I don't want to. I have no interest to. You mean I'd have to go look at those things I prefer to keep hidden in the dark? Yeah, the truth sets you free. Then you won't be manipulated by those things anymore. You won't be manipulated by people who walked away from you before to get in a relationship with someone else who maybe they were both loving, wonderful people, but then they didn't get in a relationship with you. Well, that's the way it goes. Are we willing to deal with the truth, or do we want to stay in denial of the truth and let it keep overwhelming us? Not everybody I want to be friends with, every job I want to have, every romantic relationship I want to be in is going to work out the way I want or be on the same page as me at the same time. Am I willing to keep loving myself, not to give up on my dreams, deal with my inner conflict that other people had a different truth, people were on a different page, even if those people were being manipulated or controlled? I can't make other people see the truth. I can't make other people be on the same page as me. I have to accept the truth of where I'm at and keep having hope and faith and belief in my dreams and keep staying, loving myself, staying emotionally balanced within myself, keeping perspective and the lessons that I've learned in the past, to have good boundaries within myself so I don't go drive my life off into the ditch and end up over here indulging in something that I thought would make me happy when I really hadn't done that work within myself to love and believe in myself and believe in my dreams and be patient and listen to my intuition. Because then I'm going to be where I'm juggling loving myself and getting myself in relationships where people are probably happy to indulge in a relationship with me because I'm this loving person who gave up on believing in my dreams, so I settled for less than I deserved. And there's going to be other people in the world who have went through similar situations that you are going to meet that are on the same page as you. And the people in your life who you know are more about trying to find people who are overwhelmed to get in a relationship with so they can not be defensive to love and just indulge themselves, works for them. You know, when we quit settling for less than we deserve, I guess it kind of requires other people to realize that if they want to be in a relationship with people like that, they're going to have to buck up. And they're going to have to emotionally grow up and deal with their inner conflict about investing in the truth and love instead of thinking for some reason they should be able to not be sure if they really want to invest in that. Looking at people as like, well, I don't know. You know, are you a good investment? It's like, do not consider me one of your investments. I take myself off the table. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Aries energy that they might not see coming up? The Page of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, because of the Five of Swords. So the fives can talk about change. Change is hard. The Five of Pentacles talks about detaching from an old foundation. And then from the 5 to the 3, no longer working together with those people in a 3 of Pentacles foundation anymore. I've picked up my investment. I've detached from you. I've wished you peace. Love is what helps us detach. Having hope and faith and belief. The 5 of Swords is Aquarius energy, believing in my dreams. Even though all of this causes me mental conflict and inner conflict, I can't keep investing in something where I feel left out in the cold, where I feel juggled, maybe with people who seem to want to win at all costs. It's really more all about them. Instead of working cooperatively with people in a just and fair and loving way, it's like, okay, I wish you peace. I'm moving on. Why? Because I have seen the truth. In the 2 of Swords, we were stuck. We maybe didn't want to see the truth. 3 of Swords, we were heartbroken. 4 of Swords, we meditated on the truth of the situation. What kind of action do loving people take? What type of people who are just and fair take? What do people who act with character and integrity? What action do they take? And we saw the truth. These people don't operate from truth and love and justice and fairness and character and integrity. And in the truth, we're going to wish them peace. I hope it works out for you. I think you have some lessons to learn about what it means to play nicely with others in a relationship. And I'm going to detach from you, even though that means I am going to go through a period of feeling left out in the cold. But I'd rather be out in the cold than to be in relationships with people where I feel overwhelmed. People who want me to indulge them, who are competitive, who are stubborn, who are defensive. I'd rather enjoy my day alone. And days and days and days enjoying my day, getting a cup of coffee, going for a walk, going to a movie, reading a book, spending time with friends and family, enjoying my job, enjoying my own unique talent, skills, and interests that maybe I should start investing more time in. And I know over time I will get out of feeling left out in the cold and feel more balanced within myself because I've changed. I'm not the same person I was before. And I've also seen the truth that you are not who I thought you were before. So as people go through that process, they do that within themselves. And then when they're ready and they've reconciled themselves with the past and they're ready to move forward to maybe get in another relationship, that's when they communicate with people. I'm ready to move forward in this way. And they make these gestures to people to see who wants to move forward with me. Stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe, and maybe, in a more just and fair and free way because we've looked at life from a higher perspective. And I think there also will be other people who will reach out to you and tell you they want to move forward with you in that way. And you just have to listen, like I said, to your intuition. There's going to be immature people who are in codependent energy. That's what the page can mean in shadow, or they're just emotionally immature. But things didn't work out with the people they wanted to move forward with, or those people wanted them to be more balanced, and maybe you don't know the truth of them. Maybe you don't even know them. So it's like, hey, I want to be the next person to move forward with you like that. And it's like, no. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to speak my truth. Odds are, hopefully, just telling you my truth of some of the lessons I've learned or getting to know you and you telling me things about you, I'll get an idea of what kind of person you are. And I'm going to listen to my intuition. And if my intuition tells me, wish that person peace and stand up for yourself and defend yourself against that person and distance yourself from them, that's what I'm going to do. And the people who harness high vibe Page of Cups, where they seem to be authentic and truthful, and my intuition tells me that they are not wanting to repeat some pattern of a relationship, but they're willing to be bold and brave and confident to move forward with me to manifest a dream, then those are the people I'm going to move forward with. What's coming up for people who harness some shadowy or more worldly focused Aries energy? The devil had flipped itself over at some time in the deck, so it was showing itself. But what's coming up for them that they might not see coming up? Yeah, so some of the immature people, they had tried to move forward in this more worldly way and with people that were more worldly focused that could be more like them. And they had mental conflict about that because they didn't like being in a relationship with someone like themselves. Or that relationship just didn't work out. So now they want to be in a relationship with someone like you or come back to being in a relationship with someone like you. And it's like, I'm glad if you dealt through some issues and realized some truths about some things in the world. But if my intuition is telling me that you still have, you learned one, but in the meantime, I've learned 6 more, where we're at in life and the lessons that we've learned, I'm glad you learned that one. I'm glad you're not letting that manipulate you or that person or those people manipulate you anymore. But I have inner conflict of investing in you because the truth is I still think you have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And, you're kind of between a page and a knight, and I'm like a king and a queen, and that talks kind of about the life lessons that we've learned in life. And, it shows the different ways people will respond and act in a relationship because of the life lessons they have learned. And it might be, I wish you peace, but just because that didn't work out, I don't know if you thought I felt left out in the cold and had mental conflict and was just creating some illusion that I'm still someone who juggles or whatever. But I have picked a path, and my path is emotionally balanced, loving, healed relationships. And if my intuition tells me you're not there yet, then I'm going to wish you peace and I'm going to continue on my way. And that's then when you also see the truth of who these people are. They'll probably go back and do life the way they were doing it. They have the option to do this work within themselves, just like some of the people that you'd previously been in relationship with, but they didn't choose to do it. Oh, no, oh, that didn't work out. Okay, let me go see who else I can go indulge in a relationship with, who might still have inner conflict about being in a relationship based on truth and love, who I can manipulate. What's coming up for the shadowy people that they might not see coming? The Star card, because of the Page of Pentacles. So for some of the people that were trying to manipulate people or control people or hoping they would let whatever manipulates them also manipulate the loving people, what they didn't see coming is that the loving people would believe in their dreams, and that they are, in High Vibe, the Page of Pentacles is a student of life, that the other people in High Vibe energy of Sagittarius, of the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands, they are someone who's willing to not give up their dreams, and like, life is about learning lessons. And if I get myself in situations but the other people don't seem to be on the same page as me at the same time, and I've offered them love and encouragement, and I've tried to be just and fair and all those good things, and they're still not moving forward with me, I can wish you peace and be a student of life. Because I believe if people are creating a little hell on earth, that means, because we live in a world of duality, that means life-giving energy or God is creating a little heaven on earth. And I'm going to go find the people who seem to be on the same page as me. They've never done that. So they didn't think you would do that. They thought you would kind of be defensive of loving and believing in yourself just like they have, and that you'd come back and indulge whatever things they indulge themselves in, just like you maybe did before, even if it was your codependent nature. But they see that you have, you have hope and faith and belief in your dreams, and I didn't see that coming. Another thing they might not see coming is someone views them like a shining star and wants to invest in them. The other person might try to present themselves like a shining star too, but the reason they might be making them an offer is because they're kind of immature too. They also could have gotten in relationships with people who wanted them to grow up and mature themselves, and they're like, no, I think I'll go find someone who's on the same page as me. And if they get in a relationship with someone who's on the same page as them, that's a just and fair relationship. It's an injustice for someone who is not aligned with truth and love and justice and fairness and being willing to get out of their ego to admit they have lessons to learn in life, to try to get in a relationship with someone who's like that when they know they're not willing to budge. Well, it's just and fair for them to be in a relationship with someone who has a lot of life lessons to learn just like them. And if they're both happy, juggling and making their life more about just being in a relationship, that's what makes them feel safe and secure. Being in a more codependent relationship, or being in a relationship for whatever reason, if they're both on the same page, then that's just and fair. They're both motivated and inspired by the same things. Maybe competitiveness, maybe ego, maybe indulgence, maybe status and image. But I think they've got a lot of work to do. And even in a relationship, now they have someone who isn't being maybe this loving, nurturing, supportive person to the degree that other people were, who kind of juggles love too, maybe because they've been hurt and they want to be in a relationship because, for whatever reason. And they could have a lot of work ahead of them. They both could act out in ways that kind of overwhelm the other person because neither one of them have learned to really do love. Everybody could be using their emotions manipulatively to get what they want. Everybody could have a lot of inner conflict they don't deal with that makes them defensive. Well, maybe they can learn from each other and help each other work through their inner conflicts, you know? And it might be what makes some people realize just because this might have everything by worldly standards that I thought I wanted, I want to be in more emotionally mature relationships because I've maybe known people and grown up with people who are more emotionally mature. Why am I not more emotionally mature? Why don't I feel more stable and grounded within myself? Why don't I have better boundaries within myself? Why am I not willing to be more loving? And for some, it'll hopefully be the catalyst to make them start doing some of this inner work and growing and maturing themselves. And some people are getting out of those relationships and doing that work, and they're coming up here now. And they're starting to do this work and communicating with people in their life that, I had some lessons to learn. I was kind of had to learn to love myself or fearful of being hurt or whatever. It's just high vibe people aren't going to be chasing after people and aren't going to be waiting, well, till people make a decision. Because maybe by you being a leader in the world is what is the catalyst for other people to do this work within themselves. If people think that people are going to keep enabling them in their poor behavior, they have no incentive to change. And there too, we've also got to see the truth that change can take a really long time. Years and decades. How long did it take you to learn certain lessons in your life? If we want our dreams to come into reality, we just need to keep investing in people to find the people who are on the same page as us and enjoy our life in the meantime. So there you go, Aries. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.